Hi, I'm Annie White, and I'm here to do a video on fluency, a mini lesson. So fluency is really not, to me, about vocabulary and sight words. You do have to know your vocabulary and sight words. Everybody has to know their vocabulary and sight words. For instance, in this book, in this decodable reader, it's level 2.1. There is a story called The Longest Shopping Trip, or all the stories really. They have there's a comparative endings, ER and EST, bigger, closest, biggest, all these words right here, and then your high frequency words are right here: money, question, spot, clothes, hours. So yeah, you should go over these quickly, and before you read the story. So, but it's like, say I give you an analogy. Say I give you an analogy of reading and driving a car. Say I give you an analogy of reading and reading with fluency. Okay, so here's reading. You've learned how to read. Then here's a fluent reader. Okay, now here's a driver. They've learned how to drive. But here's a pilot that flies planes. Okay, so that's my analogy. So look at it like that. A person who drives, they have to know, how to control, to do everything in the car, all the controls. They have to know what they are. They have to know how to work them. They have to have good mental alertness, be able to stop, know how to stop quickly, like on a dime. They have to fit in that seat or that cockpit well. They have to be comfortable. You have to clock a lot more hours doing all those things in order to be a captain for major airlines than you do just driving your car to work, right? That's what I'm telling you. So you have to read a lot more. You have to practice reading a lot more in order to be fluent. And fluency is about attitude and emotion and feeling, prosody, rhythm. It's about intonation, having the correct tone of voice, inflection. You have to feel, you have to be in character. That's what your theater people say. You have to be in character. That's what you have to do. You have to be in character. You're not going to be real fluent the first time you read the sentence or the story. You have to know what the story is about, so you have to read it a couple of times. So, for instance, in this book, let's see here. Oh, the story's over here. So, The Longest Shopping Trip. So that's a picture of Jake, okay? So he's standing there in his clothes, and his pants are a little bit short, okay? And it says here, "My clothes don't fit," Jake cried. Okay, so if he's going to say Jake cried, they don't mean that he's crying, because there's no frown on his face. He's not upset. He's not going, "My clothes don't fit." No. He's "My clothes don't fit." Like he's excited. He's surprised. And then it says, "You are bigger," Mom said. Well, usually people don't talk like that. They don't say "you are bigger." They'll shorten it, and they'll say "you're bigger." Y-O-U''re. So you're bigger. And that's fine if you say "you are bigger." But if you really want to be in character, you'd be more like, "Well, you are bigger." See, and I even added a "will." When people are in readers theater, that is a way to teach fluency, and they are more fluent because they get in character and they talk like people really talk, and that's the true meaning of fluency. So it's really about getting that message across to your audience, having your audience captivated, not losing your audience. And then it says, "Well, you're bigger," Mom said. "We'll go shopping." And see, it says "we will go shopping," and that's fine if they say "we will go shopping," because that's what it says. And hopefully they'll put some emotion into it and get in character and understand the story. Okay, so the next page, there's a store, and Jake's getting out of the car, and he looks pretty happy. He's got a smile on his face. And it says, "Mom parked in the closest spot at the biggest store." And there's just a period. So it's a statement. But I did give it some emotion because I know what the story's about, right? I know we've come from the first to the second page, and we're climbing. We're getting to the climax. And I teach that. I teach the beginning, middle, end, climax, and then, you know, which is the middle, and you're going down from the climax. Then you have to find an ending. So Mom parked at the closest spot at the biggest store. This store closes in 3 hours, she noted. Or 3 hours is a long time, so she might say it like, this store closes in 3 hours. So, you know, she's making a mental note. We have to pace ourselves. We can only spend a little less than 3 hours to shop. He probably needs a lot of things, she noted. So it's a period. It's not an exclamation point. It's not a question mark. Okay, so what do you think is going to come next? So there's some clothes, or they're looking at some clothes, and that is him. That's Jake. He's got some yellow pants, and there's his mom, and she's pointing out some clothes. Okay. Mom and Jake shop for pants. These pants are nicer, Jake said, but those pants are longer, Mom added. So maybe it's more like, but those pants are longer, Mom added. Well, maybe actually, I think the ones that he likes are probably the same length as the ones he had, and she's concerned about that. And the pants over here probably fit him better. So Mom and Jake shop for pants. These pants are nicer, Jake said, but those pants are longer, Mom added. So he's not just looking for nicer, he's looking for something that should fit. Oh, here's a picture of him. Look at his face. I don't think he likes what she likes. He's frowning. She's pointing to an orange shirt, and he doesn't like it. So let's see what it says. Next, they shop for shirts. Or next, they shop for shirts, because there's no comma. So next, they shop for shirts. Try that brighter shirt, Mom said. I like longer sleeves, Jake said. So he knows what he wants. Okay. He didn't yell it, you know. He's not... He's putting on a little tantrum there, but he's not getting real upset or anything. He just wants to get his way. He knows what he wants. Okay, so what's going on here? So she's looking at a blue piece of clothing. He's looking at a green piece of clothing. Okay. All right, so then they shop for a coat. This is the thinnest cloth, Mom said. That thicker coat makes me happier. So my mom and my grandmother used to always look at material too for quality. So maybe they're getting along this time because he's happy, and I don't think she likes what she's feeling, and maybe this is the thicker coat, so maybe he'll get the green coat. Now we're going to shoes, because he's sitting down and he's getting his feet measured. And Jake looks happy. He's got a little smile on his face. There's a bag over there, so they must have gotten something. They purchased something, so they're getting there. They're on a roll. They shop for shoes last. Those shoes on the highest shelf are the finest, the clerk noted. We'll take them, Mom said. She gave that clerk money. So they shop for shoes last. It's just a period. Those shoes on the highest shelf are the finest, the clerk noted. So he's trying to sell them those shoes, and he's telling them that those are the nicest ones. Those shoes up there are the nicest. So, you know, the clerk said, we'll take them, Mom said. She gave that clerk money. She gave that clerk money. Well, she gave that clerk money because she knew that she wanted those. He did a good sales job. Oh, the last page. What are they doing? They're eating popcorn. So they must be at the movies celebrating, or they must be at home celebrating, but they're happy. They're both very happy. Jake had only one question. Can we get snacks, he asked. Mom got them hot popcorn. It was the nicest, happiest part of Jake's day. So right here, after nicest, it says, there's a comma, nicest, happiest part of Jake's day. And when you end like that. It's a different kind of period because you don't have another sentence coming up. But when there's a period and then there's another sentence coming up, you talk a little bit different because you're getting ready to start again. So, you know, there's always a different way to read it at the end. And when we're talking about the story, I might I tell them, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. And the whole time that you're watching the movie, or you're reading the story, or writing the story, you're going up to the climax. So say we're into a movie and we're eating popcorn, or then a commercial comes on, then we want to go make the popcorn, then we want to go to the bathroom. We're hurrying up to get back to the movie. Why? Because we're at a cliffhanger. We're getting to the climax. We haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to the main event. There's always events happening, but not the main event. We're waiting for the main event. And then after the main event, they're just going to tell us how the story ends. We're just waiting to see how the story ends. But it's not as exciting as the middle or the climax. And that's how stories work. So you want to fill in that information for the students. And, you're kind of analyzing the story. But you're going over the middle, the beginning, the middle, and the end, so so they can comprehend the story. You're teaching them comprehension. This is something I have. It's manipulatives. It's got all your letters, and it's got your punctuation marks too, your commas, your exclamation points. I don't think it has apostrophes or quotation marks, and those are important. It's got dollar signs, things like that. But if you have manipulatives, they can make sentences. I've had students do that, and they had a great time doing that. But it was teaching fluency, but it was also teaching reading. I just give them sentences, and they tell me where the punctuations go, what kind of punctuations. Or I'll put sentences on the board and play a game, and and then it really is great to have manipulatives, like have folders at their tables and they can go get them out, or just write sentences. Sometimes the program Word will help them edit their work, but you just really have to go over, what these punctuations mean, and how, a statement is just a statement, a period. A question mark is you say it in the form of a question. The exclamation is, it's an exclaiming something. So, and also, when you're writing, you need to have synonyms, you need to have antonyms, you need to have a thesauruses. A writing book is something that gives you different words for the same word. You don't want to say pretty over and over again, or white over and over again, or black over and over again, or you need different adjectives to make the story interesting. So I don't know if that's 10 minutes, but I think it is, so I'm going to go ahead and stop. But I hope you look at my PowerPoint, because I spent a lot of time on it, and I put some really pretty pictures in there, and I tried to be more explicit in my PowerPoint, so I hope you take a look at it. Thanks so much. I really appreciate the time. Thank you.